National Academy of Governance of the Government of Mongolia and Mansame Mongolian National News Agency, in collaboration with the United Nations Project Office on Governance of the Department of Economic and Social Affairs, organized a 5-day national workshop on effective governance for sustainable development in Mongolia on 7th to 13th of June 2023 at the National Academy of Governance in Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia.
I'm so delighted to be here today at the 5th day of the workshop. The first day was on building Train the Trainers, trainers from the National Academy of Governance, who could help in facilitating and also carrying on the training for other trainers in building their capacity to do that. So that's the first day. The next 3 days was intensive on different facets of governance. And I told you that governance is the key to inclusive and sustainable development. Governance is about 4 things. Efficient governance, which means about cost effective and doing well. Second is efficient and effective, which means getting the right results. Third is transparency, and transparency and inclusive so that we are open and we are clear with the people what we are doing, why we are doing, etc. And that needs to be made sure that we are inclusive. We bring people together, and it is because the government is a democracy, is by the people, of the people, for the people. So that's why the essence of governance is key. And this workshop has helped with the leadership of the UN Department for Economic and Social Affairs, UNDESA, and specifically the UN Program Office on Governance, with their strong expertise and support. We have been able to make this first workshop happen under the leadership of the National Academy of Governance. So I'm very happy about the governance workshop.
On the last day, the national workshop wrapped up with a workshop for media officials on risk-informed communication for reporting on emergencies and disaster risk reduction. Over 80 representatives of capital and local media organizations participated in the workshop.
The last part of the workshop is today, the Mansame-led workshop on risk-informed communication. And I have witnessed some of the sessions where Samuel Dana has been leading the session and other colleagues in really building the capacity of journalists, who I said are the most valuable assets of the society. They are the eyes and ears and the voice of the people. And they need to really understand the situation more from a perspective of, in the event of a disaster, how do we report? It has to be timely, but it has to be accurate. The balance between timeliness and accuracy. The risk-informed nature of that together. How do we provide that information that people need to have? The most relevant and valuable information that people need to have is what they need to provide. And how do we provide it most professionally, objectively, getting accurate data and communicating through the right medium, whether it's the mainstream media, whether it's social media, whichever media, to reach the people who need that information to be able to save themselves from a disaster. When we were able to find the right information and right time offered to the people, we can save lives, we can save property, etc. So it's very, very important that you can save lives as journalists by giving them the timely and correct information.
Yes, I think we had an amazing week for the past 4 days, and today we are crowning it up with the media session, which is very much significant and relevant to our time. Speaking or organizing this workshop under the theme Risk-Informed Communication for reporting or for media officials in reporting on crisis and emergencies for disaster risk reduction. I think this workshop is very much timely to our time, especially in a time that disasters are on the increase, human loss is on the increase, and most of it is influenced by disasters or influenced by human behavior. And what I realized is that today's session in particular, even though we had very outstanding sessions in the past 4 days, today's particularly crowns it up with the role of the media. And the media plays a significant role in promoting disaster risk reduction and building resilience globally. And the voice of the media is the voice of the people, for instance, because the people really need to hear the right information. And I think this is very timely. And having Mansame led by its able director, Ms. Sodo, partner with us with NOAG, that's the National Academy of Governance of Mongolia, and hosting this amazing workshop, as well as collaborating with the UN Resident Coordinator, ably led by Mr. Tapan Misra, is something I find very amazing and remarkable for our time. And I think today's session especially is a great workshop to work with.
People are weak in the face of natural disasters. We cannot predict when and where natural disasters will occur. However, we must strive to improve and strengthen our capacity as individuals, organizations, and nations to overcome these challenges associated with natural disasters. It's important to remember that not all disasters are natural. Some are caused by human activities. Therefore, our priority should be to work and live in a way that avoids creating any human-caused disasters. If there is a potential for a human-caused disaster, we must closely examine the factors and reduce the risks associated with it. One prime example of a human-caused disaster is a building collapse, and it is entirely our responsibility to prevent it. To prevent building collapses, there are several actions people can take, such as overseeing the effective implementation of standards, norms, and legislation.